Hey everyone, my name is Mars, like the planet, and this is Housewarmin. Me and my partner have just purchased our very first home, so if you're interested in design, homemaking, and figuring it all out, make sure you subscribe. So today I am going to be cleaning up our entire house all day. I'm going to do a couple loads of laundry. I'm going to vacuum. I'm going to sweep. I'm going to clean our stairs, empty the garbage cans, the whole 9 yards. So make sure you get a drink, get a snack, sit back and relax. So I actually just want to talk to you guys again today. I mean, you can clearly see what I'm doing on screen. There's no reason for me to talk you through it, but I really want to talk about what I did as a job before I started YouTube. So currently right now I am a TV commercial editor, so I do have a full-time job. YouTube is not my full-time job, and I'm not really trying to become a full-time YouTuber content creator. I just really enjoy editing, so I really just wanted to put some creativity into this channel. But if you do like what you see, make sure you subscribe and you thumbs up this video and you leave a comment, because that really does help out my channel. So before I started editing television commercials, I actually used to sell thrifted clothes online. So what I would do is I would go to thrift stores, I would go to Goodwill, I would go to Salvation Army, and I would find all these trendy clothes like denim jackets, jeans, shirts, all that kind of stuff, and I would actually sell it online. Now, what I was not prepared for was the fact that just because you buy something at Goodwill does not mean that in turn someone is going to buy that. So I would be buying a lot of clothes, and it was lucrative for a while. Like, a lot of people were buying my pieces, but you do have to have some type of credibility, because on the flip side, would you really go onto some random page and buy a random item? Like, you don't know who these people are, you don't know who, like, if they're gonna scam you or anything like that. So I really had to try to build a following, and I really had to try to work for reviews to let people know that I was a legit person to buy clothes from. The only thing was that in the end I ended up quitting because people just weren't buying a lot of the clothes that I was picking up. And I don't know if that was because of my fault. I don't know if I just wasn't promoting it enough, but I ended up having a closet full of clothes that would never sell. And so all in all too, like, shipping costs were really expensive, running an Instagram page full time where I used to sell the clothes, going to thrift stores all over, trying to find trendy clothes. Like, it just became a lot. So I ended up stopping after maybe like the summer, and it was a really fun like college job. But also when I was selling clothes, I also used to work at Panera Bread. Now, I ended up actually getting fired from Panera Bread, and I'm not going to talk bad about them, but I will say that a lot of their stuff is, microwaved. A lot of their stuff is not like prepared super fresh. Like, I will say that, like, there are people who come in to make the bread every single day and every single night. Like, we prepare the sandwiches fresh, but like, it's not like someone's in the back like whipping it up in the kitchen. Like, it's just us back there. But I actually ended up getting fired from that job because one day we had food that was quote unquote expired. Now, this food was not like bad, moldy, you couldn't eat it. It was just past its sell date. This item was also off of our menu, so you can't even buy it anymore. So this is the last day that was on the menu, and it was the last day that we could actually sell it. So I asked my manager, hey, can I take this home? And he was like, yeah, sure, whatever, bye. So I don't know what happened or what miscommunication happened, but I walked into work the next day and they fired me for stealing products. And I was like, but the manager told me I could take the food home and it's expired and we're not even selling this food anymore. So how am I stealing product? And they were like, well, we don't care. He said that's not true. And the guy was just sitting right there. And I'm like, bro, like, what are you, like, I'm not going to say you're a liar, but I'm just saying, like, what are you doing? Like, you literally saw me 8 hours ago and you told me I could take this home. And yeah, they fired me with no explanation or anything. So I kind of think that it was just coming, because I'm not going to say that I was like a star employee at this place. I was very much a child, acting like a child. So I'm not saying I deserve to get fired, but it's whatever. It was not my calling to work at Panera Bread forever. But before Panera Bread, I actually used to work at Baskin Robbins. And this was probably like my favorite job ever, because we got to take home 2 scoops of ice cream every single day, and we got to taste the ice cream. And yes, the line was sometimes like down the street, but I still loved like getting to try all these new flavors, and all these kids would come in. Like, it was just a really fun like place. Like, I don't know, I really liked working there. But I did not get fired from there. I actually just worked over the summer. Like, I think it was like my sophomore year of high school, and then I ended up leaving to go back to school. But also, I actually went skydiving, and not a lot of people know that about me. But for my 21st birthday, I always said that I wanted to go skydiving, and I don't know anyone else except one person who is actually going skydiving. And it was like a pretty simple, straightforward process. Like, I found these people online and they were like, yeah, you can come on, like you and your friend can come. It just has to be clear skies and we'll take you up and you can jump. So it's like, okay, cool. So in my head, I have always just seen videos of people skydiving and they're like all cool and throwing up peace signs and doing flips and stuff. So I'm thinking like, okay, this is what it's about to be. So the day comes and we get all our gear on, and it's a very small little airport, like super tiny airport. And we get into the plane. The plane is like the size of a coffee table. Like, it is tiny, and we're all packed up in there. I have a guy that I'm strapped to, and my friend has a guy strapped to me. And we fly up, and first of all, there's no this is not a Southwest like jumbo jet. This is a little bitty propeller plane. So there was no seats or anything. We're just sitting on the floor of this plane. And it's freezing cold when we get up there because obviously up in the atmosphere, it's cold. So I'm like looking down and seeing, it was really like a peaceful ride up. It was super short. And we were like, okay, who wants to go first? So my best friend decided to go first. And it was just, when I tell you, the most bizarre thing to witness your best friend jumping out of a plane. Like, it was just so, I don't know, I can't even describe it. So then it was my turn. And so he got to the door, we climbed over, I'm like strapped to this guy, and he starts rocking. He's like, we're gonna go on 1, 2, 3, and he lets go, and we're like free falling, and it literally feels just like I'm falling out of the sky. And then we kind of level out, and I'm thinking like, okay, this is the skydiving part. It just felt like a rush of air. Like, it felt like, honestly, when you roll the window down and just stick your face out of the car going like 100 miles an hour. Like, I couldn't see anything. I just remember being really cold, and it was really windy. I could see the blue of the sky and the blue of the ground, but because you're moving so fast, like, you can't even see anything or concentrate anything. Little did I know, this man was supposed to be taking pictures of me for the time, and my mouth was just like wide open. I didn't know what to do. My hands are flailing, anything like that. And he's like trying to tell me that he's taking pictures of me and to smile, but like, I was not even paying attention to that at all. So it was just such like a blur, literally a blur, because we're going so fast towards the ground. All I can see is like a rush of wind past my face. Like, I don't know how these professional skydivers are like flying around and connecting and making shapes and doing all kind of stuff like that in the sky and doing peace signs and smiling and talking to the camera, because like, I couldn't even concentrate on that. So then he finally like tapped me and he's like, oh no, we have a problem. And I'm like, girl, what is going on here? And he was like, yeah, our parachute's not working. And I'm like, what? And he was like, no, I'm just kidding. And he pulls the parachute, and then finally that kind of felt like, okay, I can concentrate, I can see. I like saw my best friend like a little bit down further below us, and I was like, oh, okay, this is nice. And I was like, now I'm ready to take pictures. And he was like, I was taking pictures of you the entire time we were falling. And I was like, oh, my bad. And these pictures they're honestly god awful. Like, I looked like a leaf blower is just being blown into my mouth. So we like glided down, and he basically was like, okay, we're gonna float for a little while. And he was like, well, when we land, he was like, make sure, do not just like put your feet out. Just don't like put your heels into the ground to stop, because since we're going so fast, you will literally break your leg. So you need to just like kneel to the ground. Like, you need to just slowly glide to the ground. So I was like, okay. So we're like talking and stuff like that. And we finally get close to the bottom, close to the ground, and we finally land. And I just completely just like fall to my knees, because it's such like a crazy experience that you just like jumped out of the sky and landed. Like, it is just crazy. And so like afterwards, like me and my friend, we like hugged and stuff, and I was just like, oh my god, like we really just went skydiving. Like, it was so cool. Like, I don't think I would go again, because I'm not trying to test my luck like that. I feel like I made it once safely to the ground. Like, I feel that I'm good. Like, I don't want to test my luck anymore, but I'll recommend it. Like, I did not feel unsafe at any point in time. Like, I know a lot of people are afraid of heights and stuff, but it's not just like you're falling to the ground and then you just land. Like, you do, I don't know, like literally the best way I can describe it is that like, if you're going down the interstate at 60 miles an hour, roll down the window and stick your head out. The way that you can't really see much, the way that you mostly just feel wind, like that's how it feels. Like, you can't even comprehend at the time, like, oh, I am falling from the sky. Like it doesn't really, there's no weightlessness. I guess that's the word. There's no weightlessness at all. Like you just feel like pressure of the wind below you. But yeah, that is my skydiving story. Like, I mean, if you have any more questions about it, just ask me in the comments, because like I really do recommend it to people. But I also want to talk about the fact that around the time that I was in college, I got caught cheating on a test, and I was almost kicked out of college, like also like removed from the university. What happened was, in my English class, which I don't really like English, you know, Spark Notes is a thing. And if you don't know what Spark Notes is, like basically they summarize stories and characters and stuff like that. And I'm not saying it's a good way to cheat, because you shouldn't be cheating, but like it's free and it's online. So we had to do a lot of reading in this English class, and I was a senior at the time. So it was like I was about to graduate. I did not care about this English class. I was an art major, so I was like, I don't need no English. So we had to do a lot of reading. And so I went to Spark Notes, and I would just be copying and pasting. And I'm like, he's not going to notice. And the entire year, he was just like, yeah, you pass. Okay, whatever. So our final paper comes, and I write the paper. I did not plagiarize. Like I did all my works cited and things like that. And so I just get an email that's like, hey, you're not going to pass my class because you've been caught cheating, and you're going to get removed from the university. And at the time, like my heart basically fell through the bottom of my ass. Like I was in panic mode. I was like, are you like, what do you mean I'm going to get kicked out of the university a semester before my senior, like before I graduate? I was like, no. So I went to go and meet with him, and I was just like, what's going on? And he was like, yeah, I know you've been cheating. I know you've been using Spark Notes. And he was like, you didn't really like do your works cited page correctly, so it looks like you're just plagiarizing all of this work. And I basically begged and pleaded with him, and I was just like, please, bro. I was like, I cannot fail right now. I was like, I'm a semester away from graduating. I'm graduating in May. At that time it was like February. I was like, please. I was like, I will redo everything, I will rewrite everything. Like, just, I cannot fail this class, and I cannot get kicked out of the university over something like an English class. Like, I'm not saying English is not important, but like, I didn't need that English class. Anyways, so he actually like heard me out and understood. And he was like, well, he's like, I really don't want to fail you. He's like, I understand that you're so close to graduation. He was like, you're not an English major. You really don't need his English class. So like, I'll let you redo all of the work. When I tell you, I busted my butt for like 3 days, completely redoing everything for that class. And he was just like, yeah, he's like, I'll pass you with like a B or whatever. He's like, you're good. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, how are you so calm right now? Like, you were about to kick me out of the university. Like, what are you talking about? You're just like, yeah, okay, whatever, thanks, bye. So I don't know what the moral of that story is, but don't cheat. Like, please don't cheat. And if you're going to cheat, don't get caught for plagiarizing, because you will get kicked out of the university. And like, trust me, like if you just talk to your professors with like some level of humanity, they may just work with you. Because I mean, mine did, but don't go around saying, nah, I told you that, because I wasn't supposed to be caught cheating in the first place. But also too, at that time, like once I graduated, I was like, I really had a hard time like after college, because my art professor told me that I wasn't going to graduate on time. Like at the same time, I just had a really hard time getting my final project together. I was an animation major, so I was working on my project. My professor met with me and was just like, yeah, your work's not that great. She was like, you're probably going to pass with a C if you don't get it together, and you're probably not going to graduate in May, so you're probably going to have to come back next semester, and even if you do graduate, you're never going to find a job. And I was like, okay. And so I had to once again like bust my butt to make sure I was graduating on time, and like make sure that I was going to be like on track to graduate, and I was going to find a job. And like, I will say that, like, spoiler alert, everything ended up working out, but it was just so scary to be so close to graduating after 4 years of like torment. And I won't say like, I mean, everyone like makes fun of art majors because they're like, oh, y'all just color all day. But it's like, no, it's really hard to like put hours and hours and hours and hours and hours into creating a piece that you love and you think is worthy of an A, and the teacher's like, no, this is trash. D, no, this is not that great. C, like it really kind of like messes with your head, and you're like, am I a good artist? Like, am I actually worth it? Like, am I good? Like, they are brutal. And it's different when like you're just writing a paper about, you know, Shakespeare. You don't really care about Shakespeare. But when you're drawing something from your imagination, from your mind, from, you know, something that you really care about, and someone's just like dogging on it, you're like, girl, I'm about to fight you up in here for talking so bad about my painting. Like it really, I used to be in tears. Like, I will say that like being an art major is hard, not because of like, you already have the talent, but it's just hard getting all this work done for, you know, hours and hours and hours of drawing, and then it's not good enough, and it's never good enough. And there are some people who never get an A as an art major, and then you can do all of this and then you can fail. So like I said, spoiler alert, I did graduate, and my teacher ended up coming up to me and was like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you, and like gave me a hug and everything. And I was like, girl, please get off me, like whatever, bye. But like after I graduated, I also worked at Painting with a Twist, which is basically an art studio where you can come in with your friends and you can paint on a canvas, and you can also drink wine. And so that's the with a twist part. So I taught like painting classes for most of the summer after I graduated, and it was really cool. Like, it was really fun, but like, I mean, I also maybe ended up getting fired from there. That was another interesting story. I don't know. I will say that like I did not deserve to get fired. Like, our location ended up closing basically, and I think they just let me go because they didn't really know what to do with me. But I will say that like it was a really fun like place and a really fun time like getting to teach painting classes. Anyways, so as I'm recording this, it's October 18th, and Halloween season is in full effect. Are you dressing up? Like, I definitely dress up every year, but I'm not going like all out. Like, I don't buy costumes. I just kind of like put stuff together from my closet. But like, are you dressing up? Are you going out? Do you have kids? Are you going trick-or-treating? This video probably will come out after Halloween, but just let me know, like, did you dress up? Like, how was it for you? Like, are you more into the spooky ooky type, or are you just more of like decorating for fall and for harvest? Or are you just like, I don't care about Halloween, I'm trying to get to Christmas? Like, just let me know. Like, I don't know, because I'm interested in seeing, like, even if you want to send me pictures, like on Instagram, it's house_warmin, and you can send me pictures on Instagram or tag me, because I really want to see what you guys dressed up as. I know there's like so much content out there of people doing all different types of like crazy makeup and all kind of stuff like that. But since this video will come out after Halloween, what are your plans for the rest of the holidays, like Thanksgiving or Christmas? Do you have any traditions? Like, I really don't know what we're gonna do this year. I'm sure somebody will cook. I mean, I hope they gonna cook. And then for Christmas, now that like we've moved out and like we have our own house, like I'm really like looking forward to decorating, because like decorating for fall just kind of like got away from us, because it was like we still had to buy like a sofa. So buying like pumpkin decorations really was not in the budget, or really didn't make any sense. So hopefully by Christmas we can like afford to get like a Christmas tree and a wreath, because like I love Christmas time. Like, I really like go all out for the whole like holiday fantasy. Oh, do y'all do like Friendsgiving? Is that a thing? Do people know about that? But like, you know, instead of having like Thanksgiving, you have your friends over for Friendsgiving. Like, do y'all do that? I don't know. I'm thinking of doing it now since we're like in our new house, like thinking of like inviting people over, but I don't know. We'll see. Like, I mean, make sure you subscribe, because I may film it and I may put it out there. But thank you so much for watching this video. I post new videos every single Wednesday, and this video is not super done yet, so please don't click off. Don't click off. I'm just not about to talk your ear off for 35 minutes, but make sure you keep watching. I'll just let the music play, and I post new videos every single Wednesday, so I will see you guys next week. Bye.